The next speaker, Sarah Hutchinson Ratcliffe, who is somewhere stuck on a plane because of this spring weather we're having, did send comments to be read, and so I'm going to call on Nicole Jellinek to read comments from Catholics for Choice.
I start, I want to thank the elected officials who are here. I see Senator Janine Calkin, Representative Edie Agello, Representative Jason Knight, Representative Anastasia Williams, and I see Representative Marcia Rangland-Vassell and Representative Julie Casimiro, all in the back. So thank you all for coming. On behalf of the Religious Coalition for Reproductive Freedom, we're really grateful for your support on this bill and other reproductive issues. So this is a statement that I was received from Sarah Hutchinson Ratcliffe that she was going to present us with today. So I'll just read what she sent along. Catholics for Choice works across the United States and around the world to represent and amplify the voices of the majority of Catholics who disagree with the Catholic hierarchy on issues related to sex, sexuality, and reproductive health care, and the proper role of religious voices in public policy. Time and again, the Catholic hierarchy here in Rhode Island tries to tell elected officials that they represent what all Catholics believe. Yet it is also the everyday Catholics, the more than 620,000 here in Rhode Island and 70 million across the United States who make up the Catholic Church. Catholics from all walks of life, including the nearly 60% of Rhode Islanders who identify as Catholic, know that the bishops do not represent the totality of Catholic opinion when they push for policies that restrict access to reproductive health care. More than 6 in 10 U.S. Catholic voters believe that abortion should be legal in the United States. We think it is critical that the voices of everyday Catholics are included along with the voices of other faiths in debates on public policy. The truth is the majority of Catholics in Rhode Island and across the United States support healthcare policies that take care of the whole person, including access to reproductive health care. Equality, fairness, compassion, social justice, these are Catholic values. Catholics for Choice knows we must all fight to protect these principles and the right of each individual to follow their own conscience in making critical healthcare decisions, and that's why we support the Reproductive Health Care Act of 2018. We stand with Catholics across Rhode Island who believe it is important to protect reproductive health access for everyone, not in spite of our Catholic faith, but because of our faith. For the role of individual conscience is at the core of Catholic faith. Catholics believe it is unjust to usurp the conscience of any individual as they make important decisions about their personal lives. As such, Catholics support policies like the Rhode Island Reproductive Health Care Act. The Catholic faith teaches that a woman is a person with rights, responsibilities, and a conscience that must guide her as a moral agent. She must be allowed and empowered to make the best decisions for herself based on her conscience, in light of her own circumstance and following her own belief. The Reproductive Health Care Act will help protect the rights of each individual to follow that conscience and access the reproductive health care that they need. The Catholic social justice tradition compels us to stand with the poor and the most vulnerable of our society. When restrictions and anti-choice measures are allowed to pass, it is the most vulnerable who are hurt first and foremost, including women of color, those of low income, and those in rural communities. The Reproductive Health Care Act will ensure that no one is forced to choose between getting the care they need and their family's well-being. Catholics and non-Catholics alike overwhelmingly agree our laws should support and safeguard a woman's conscience no matter how much money she has in her pocket or who she works with or where she lives. Catholics for Choice hopes to help make sure Rhode Island lawmakers listen to the majority of Catholics and indeed all Rhode Island people of faith who believe these shared values of equality, fairness, compassion, social justice, and that they must be upheld for everyone. We support the Reproductive Health Care Act and urge its passage. walked in Representative Carol McAtee and Representative Teresa Tanzi. Thank you for coming.